Is it true that the bread in Subway is not really made with real bread? Let's talk about that. So recently, questions have been raised as to whether or not Subway sandwiches are actually made with real bread. And I can assure you that they are. As a matter of fact, I went to several Subways today and I actually had a sandwich at one of them, and I'm about to actually finish my drink that I just bought at a nice Subway that I went to, and I can assure you that they are made with real bread. It's just the issue here that I'm going to go into has to do with Irish tax laws. So let's get into it. So according to Irish tax laws, bread over there is actually considered a staple food in the country of Ireland. So what that means is, for Ireland anyway, is that anything that's a staple food in Ireland is not taxed. Oh, this is good soda. But anyway, if something is not a staple food, then it is taxed. So basically what's going on is that Ireland has recently evaluated the bread from Subway, and they have discovered that it no longer meets the criteria for being a staple food. So bread is not considered a staple food from Subway because of actually the levels of sugar in the bread. So it has nothing to do with that the bread is not real. Wow, I kind of like fountain drinks. Something about fountain drinks that makes the soda tastes better. This is a Diet Coke, I believe, or Coke Zero. It's pretty good. So yeah, so Subway is actually serving up real bread. I went in, I saw all the different kind of breads that they have. They all look good. They have wheat bread, they have whole grain bread, multi-grain, regular Italian style bread. They even have flat bread. So they have a lot of bread styles over there. And my understanding is, in speaking to the manager there, is that some Subways actually have specialty breads that are not available in all places. So they may have breads that are unique to certain regions. And just check in your neighborhood Subway to see what's available there, and also check on the website. But it's actually bread, so don't worry about that. So because Ireland now considers the bread of Subway sandwiches to not be a staple food, what does this mean for Subway? Well, it means that Subway is going to have to incur a higher cost of business because of the tax, and also too, it means that customers might have to pay a little extra for sandwiches if Subway decides to pass along all or a portion of the tax to the prices. So in a lot of cases, higher taxes usually get passed on anyway to consumers. But be that as it may, the fact is that it is real bread. And from a consumer standpoint, what should you do if you are a person that occasionally consumes a sandwich from Subway? Kind of like me, once in a while I'll have one. And you shouldn't be worried. You shouldn't be worried about the bread from Subway somehow not being healthy, or being less healthy today than it was, a few months ago. This ruling again has just to do with the fact that they reevaluated Subway sandwiches and found that the bread just exceeds the threshold for having a maximum level of sugar. So it just went over. That's all. And that's not uncommon because a lot of breads, Subway included, are kind of made the same way. They have the same type of macronutrients, calories, sugars, etc. So don't sweat it. Subway sandwiches are good. The bread is good. No problem there. Now, as far as just getting into the situation of should people eat bread, what are my feelings on that? Is bread healthy just in general? I think bread is not that bad for you, honestly. It's not going to make you that unhealthy. It's not going to, and when I say that unhealthy, it's not going to do anything for you. I eat bread once in a while too. It's not a big deal. Really, the most important thing is don't overeat in relation to how much calories you burn. That's the most important thing. Now, the bread from Subway is very comparable to other breads, other similar type breads that you'll see in the supermarket. Similar macronutrients, like I said before, and you can't compare that, to the ultra low calorie breads that are specifically marketed as being low calorie. Those are super low calorie, and they're not the same as the Subway bread. Subway bread has a certain consistency, a certain texture to it. It's a lot more of a robust, flavorful bread. But if you compare those types of breads, the Subway bread is basically very comparable in terms of nutritional quality and caloric content and sugar content. So I wouldn't worry about that. But bread in general, as long as you consume it, in moderation, as far as, and honestly, as long as you consume anything in moderation, bread included. If you consume bread and your total calorie intake doesn't go over a certain amount, where you're still burning slightly more than what you're taking in, you should be fine. You're not going to have any issues. So bread in itself is not going to be an issue. Now, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical professional, and this is not medical advice. Definitely seek your own doctor's advice if you have any special conditions, or if you just want to make sure. I'm just giving you my experience, my opinion on the matter. But yeah, bread is, it's okay to eat, and Subway bread is just fine. Nothing wrong with that. It's okay to eat Subway bread. And I just thought of something. The other thing that you might want to do, and I think I alluded to this before, as far as like types of bread that Subway has, consider eating flatbreads, because flatbreads, you're going to get less quantity of bread, and it still tastes pretty good. And it's just another way that you could consume less calories if you're worried about that, or if that's something that you're watching. Definitely, you can still enjoy your bread. Just the flatbread is going to mean less calories, so it should be a little bit better for you to do that. Another thing that you guys can do is, if you want to just consume less calories while you're eating the sandwich from Subway, is consider omitting the potato chips or any kind of chips that may come along with the meal. You don't need the chips, guys. You're gonna save several hundred calories depending on the chips that you get and the size of the bag. But just another thing you can do, guys, to consume less calories but still enjoy the occasional sandwich from Subway with the Subway bread that actually is bread, despite what the country of Ireland says. Hey guys, believe it or not, I'm actually back home, and I decided to reuse this soda cup from Subway because it still has ice, and I kind of like that fountain soda experience, which I don't get at home. Obviously, I don't have a fountain drink machine at home, but I'm gonna refill this up with a little Diet Dr. Pepper, which is gonna be kind of a nice thing to have here tonight. I'm gonna just relax and pour this into my very sturdy, I like this cup from Subway. It's pretty nice. It's a large cup, and whoa, I think I poured too fast. But yeah, I mean, what you guys didn't see, I'm sorry you can't see my head. What you guys didn't see in the video is that I actually did go for about a 1.5 hour walk in the park on a kind of like a nature trail part of the park, and it was great. And that's another thing that you guys can do. By the way, I know I'm going crazy with these tips, but that's another thing you guys can do is when you eat something and you think that you may have gone a little overboard. By the way, I didn't go overboard, but if you think you did and you just want to be safe, definitely eat something, and it's not going to kill you to go for a walk afterwards. You don't have to go nuts and do a 1.5 hour walk, but you could do a 10-minute walk, a 15-minute walk, just something to get your body going, to get your body burning some of the sugars, some of the calories that you consumed. So definitely don't forget that you can just always do a little bit of walking after you eat to burn some of those calories off. And by the way, you don't actually burn the calories that you just ate because the calories haven't been assimilated yet. Although the sugar does get absorbed pretty quick into your bloodstream, the body's just gonna mobilize the fat stores. But at the end of the day, the net, you're gonna burn a certain amount of calories from doing the walking and exercising after you eat, and that's gonna be an amount that's gonna reduce your total calorie intake for the day. So that's kind of like the goal, guys. So forget about the bread, forget about sandwiches. None of that is gonna make you overweight or unhealthy, unless you got some kind of medical condition. But oh, Dr. Pepper, before I end the video, Dr. Pepper. Let's see how this, let's do a taste test. Sorry you can't see my face, guys. You know what? Pretty good. I like it. This is good. This is good, guys. I approve. I approve of this Dr. Pepper, Diet Dr. Pepper in a Subway large drink with ice, replicating that fountain drink experience. All right, guys. With all that said, hope you got something out of this video, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye.